I think we'll go ahead and start. Haven't heard from Chris. Alan and Mike might be online.
Doesn't look like he is. I don't think Denny can hear us.
This is a member of the public, Eric Kine. Hello.
Mr. Huff. She said we can hear you, but you need to unplug and replug the cords. Do you know if this is the one she needs?
Oh,
Hold up.
Denny, I don't know if you can hear me. We had the same problem earlier today.
It's the same audio.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you, Janet. I think if he just unplugs the cord, it should fix it.
Or lead to the computer. How about that, Denny?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Denny?
Matt?
This has been examined by IT numerous times, so we're not doing our part.
Twitter.
While they're going through
I'm
that,
just
we can
going,
do.
Matt or Denny, I'm gonna go in there with myself
On the table, is
unmuted.
that enough for attendance?
Yeah.
And then we'll
think so.
see who's online.
Right now, it looks like it's just some staff members. Oh, actually, can you hit that, everybody?
Mr. King.
Okay, so
James Comfort.
Hello,
Can we have Google?
Hi, Janet. You can't hear us still.
I can hear you guys and I
Oh,
can
you
hear
can.
Denny.
But you can't hear us.
Oh, you can hear us. Great.
Oh, you can hear us?
Just Denny.
no,
I mean, we can hear.
Each other, but you can't hear us.
You can't,
Ah, correct. And we
Here.
still can't,
Denny.
right?
Janet, did you bring some for everybody?
Yeah, Janet, take minutes.
Yeah, I got them for everybody.
Take minutes.
Did you do the one to the computer? You watching the chat?
Just confirming which cord we should be, this go in, and it comes straight out the back of the monitor to the
Front
hard
of the
drive, right?
computer,
Okay, there's just one there.
one to the front.
Okay, does it, okay, so she's saying yes.
Unplug it, let it sit out of the plug for a few seconds and then plug it back in.
All right, unplug it for 30 seconds.
Again.
All right. It's going well. How about you?
Okay, we fired back up. You heard that?
Any luck? Audio, test, test.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up so there's no echo or anything to make sure. Okay, we'll see what, if you might want to.
It's registered.
Put something in the. That was right. Okay, bye.
Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah, aren't you an IT guy?
No, I just, no, I'm terrible.
Any
with
luck,
software.
Danny?
I can build a computer in 5
Matt,
minutes,
can
but
you
I
hear me?
can't turn it on and operate it.
Nothing?
Nope.
And he's not muted anymore.
we don't have video either.
We should.
We do, yeah, we've got video. Everybody
Yeah, see,
just
they can
has
see us
theirs
up there.
off.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to hear us.
So.
All right,
Should we try it one more time as we're doing roll call? And then there is an option that people can call in if they wish. Our 3 staff members probably, and Denny probably aren't gonna make comment. They're here for viewing. Chris, I think may want to have comment. There's a way he can call in and do that on this Zoom meeting.
Can you hear me?
Other than that, I thought I saw one person at large on
He's
this.
trying to say something.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
can't hear you, Chris. Sorry.
We can see you. I wish it was the other way around.
I can't do sign language, sorry.
There you go. I can just do the thumbs up and the thumbs down. That'll work.
We heard you, Chris.
What you do is talk again.
Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Yes, you can hear me?
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris. Around the table for roll call?
Yep.
Is that okay?
So Sarah Jane Scott, mechanical contractor.
Neil Ezell, Class B.
Warren White, fire.
Adrian Jones at large.
Sean Reardon, architect.
JJ Williams, electrical contractor.
Kevin Hoppy, plumbing contractor.
Laura Blanchard, MEP engineer.
Brian Jimenez, code official.
Matt Schmidt, deputy code official.
Okay.
We got on. Justin.
Is Mike Brennan on?
Just staff. Mike is
Oh,
not
Chris.
on. Mike was gonna join.
So we'll know Chris Houston, Mike Brunin, and Alan Balot are not in attendance. So we do have a quorum of 6, so we can proceed.
Okay.
The minutes are online and on video. If anybody would like to suggest amendments or changes. If not, we'll just approve by ayes. Aye. Ayes. Okay. JJ, do you want to start on the NEC,
Yeah.
what we've gone over? And part of this we agreed through, didn't we?
Yeah, we got through some of it.
We left it off if we can.
That
Do
would be
you,
great.
JJ, do you want to drive or do you want me to? I don't care.
I don't care.
Okay,
I mean, I'm happy to.
let me give.
Because I do already want to address something that I want to retract, or there's things that after everybody put their input in, but,
Yeah, that's fine.
oh, drive there?
Just scroll up to that.
Be careful. I didn't know that.
Matt, you drive it that way.
Okay.
I can do it here.
Volunteer to drive?
I'm not gonna drive.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody will get seasick if I try to drive.
So
We'll be
JJ,
over in 5 minutes.
okay, so I'm gonna, you guys tell me if you want to stop and revisit. But I'm gonna scroll until,
I believe we're on to 208.
on this.
Oh, I can't see that. Or am I saying 210.8B? Huh? 210.8B.
210.8.
So Matt, I made some comments about,
I'll pull yours up. too.
okay, all right.
Sorry.
Well, I have some, after Laura put her info,
Yeah,
and I'm reading this, and I'm trying to understand this a little better, and the operating word that I think that is in here is the word receptacles, which is not an outlet.
What are we talking about?
second here, let me get,
If you look at, and so I would tend to agree with Laura, because in my mind, this actually doesn't affect hardwired equipment.
Which section are we talking about?
210,
And,
about the 100. kitchen
and so,
receptacles.
you know, it's just,
Chris, you're the one.
that word receptacles is only gonna mean something that's plugged into the wall, and it's not gonna apply to. And most of the equipment that I'm referring to is actually hardwired. So I would agree with Laura 100% that we keep this code the exact way it's written and not make any amendments, because this would not apply to hardwired equipment. So it wouldn't apply to air conditioners. It
Yeah, I'm
wouldn't
gonna
apply to
Correct.
any of that stuff. And I think I was just thinking, for whatever reason, my mind was thinking, you know, an outlet, which applies to any utilization of electricity, but it clearly states that it's only applies to receptacles. And I would fully agree with that.
And now, is this 210.8 or 210.12?
So this is 210, sorry.
Down a little bit.
Scroll up here.
Down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just getting here.
Okay, 210.
210.8, B.
GCIs. Okay.
On
There's
the
a,
commercial
On
side.
the
On the
commercial.
commercial side,
here's
okay.
B.
So
Okay.
I want to retract my proposal on that
Okay,
altogether and just take, leave the code as it is right there.
okay.
No problem.
Because oh yeah, you know, just, I was thinking an outlet and it's a receptacle, so.
So clarification, JJ, no strike throughs on any of that language in the
Yeah, I would
teal.
remove all those structures.
Okay,
Yeah,
No problem there.
all right.
I agree 100%.
Okay,
Wow, we got consensus.
1 for 1. All right.
Let's go get
Let's go party.
Okay, and you guys tell me to stop.
So what, this one is about, adding range stops or removing range stops from that? Where we at? What is that?
Laura agrees. Do we have a comment above? I can't
I
remember.
remember you saying something in the last meeting about that, Laura.
This is an exception, and for some reason it was just highlighted. I don't know if that was in our previous code or
Let me go
not.
up real quick. Amendments that all proposed are highlighted pink. That's from.
So that must be amendment,
Yeah.
saying the exceptions that we don't not need GFCI are
Sorry, shut your eyes.
I'm getting sick.
Yeah,
not GFCI.
close them, Janet. That we already got to.
I think it's an exception to an exception.
So you said, it says we don't need
Oh, I have it written for me. Blue is a JJ proposed amendment, ranges and cooktops. Do you have any insight into that,
To
JJ?
include, so he wanted to incorporate those two into
Okay.
that code. So that's the way I'm reading that.
include that into the.
That's how I read it
Yeah,
also.
including that into the exceptions.
You wanna, yeah,
Just as a single outlet.
Laura, you agree?
Yeah, I agree,
We're
yes,
team. Okay.
yes.
Adrian?
For a single outlet.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yep.
Okay,
Okay,
D,
yeah.
I make a motion, we,
Now this one, I think I had is this
you
a,
got something, so here's you, Adrian.
okay, yeah.
Sorry, I copied, so this is the 2 different emails, hopefully in order.
Okay, so I looked this up and this is to protect hardwired appliances, not so much the appliance, but pretty much the location and protect the whole circuit. And so when you read through some of the commentary, that's kind of what it says about that. Trying to read your commentary.
And all those would be on a dedicated circuit
Yep.
anyway, so you're not protecting anything else on that circuit. The ones we're striking through.
Yeah,
Right, but yeah, do they have to be on the dedicated? Is that what 422 says?
sumps would require dedicated, dishwashers would, electric ranges
Ranges would.
would, wall oven would, counter mount cooking would, clothes dryer definitely would, and microwaves.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the code was changed to make sure that the circuit was protected for hardwired and not just cord and plug connected. That's what this section is for.
Right.
Yeah, so I would oppose the strike these and just leave it as it is. It's gonna be protected anyway, if it's on a dedicated circuit.
I agree.
Wait. Is he agreeing with you and me, or?
And striking those out, so
Okay,
taking the
we
sums.
agree to strike those out.
Right.
Sorry.
so for clarification,
Well, I wasn't in agreement to strike.
Adrian
Oh.
wants to leave all those in.
I
Oh,
want to leave all those in
You both wanna
because,
strike it out.
like I said, the code, the reasoning was to, if they're hardwired, if they're cord and plug protected, they're typically protected by the appliance. And so what you're saying is that since they're on a dedicated circuit, where does it say these have to be on a dedicated circuit?
Well, they're just large enough that they're gonna have to be on their wattage usage.
But where does it say in the code that they have to be on a dedicated circuit?
I don't think you're gonna find an article
No.
that says that, but they're all designed to be on a dedicated circuit.
Right, let's see.
The thing, I don't like some pumps on that, because that can definitely get tricked way too easy, and then you're not protected. Dishwashers usually is under the sink, and we try not to protect those.
I added is this the one, I'm trying to think, scroll down, I think I had.
I've got a Word file from you too.
Yeah,
Adrian.
take a look at that, it's where it actually explains why they do that.
We're here.
There it is, see, this is the reasoning behind it, and that's from several prominent sites. The expansion is intended to increase the shock protection for hardwired appliances. Many of the listed appliances have large metal surfaces that can become energized during a ground fault. The requirement ensures that protection is provided for these appliances regardless of how they are connected to the electrical system. And that's the thrust behind the change. I was trying to find the word, I was trying to find the minutes to the electrical board, but when they revised it, but that seems pretty rational to me. I mean, so what would striking these do as far as electrical installation? Just not require a GFCI circuit?
Well, some pumps are in there, but some pumps are not hardwired, so that's kind of.
Plug-in.
Right, but
Yeah,
some
they're
pumps,
plugged
yeah,
in.
we understand some pumps, but
I-
what would you gain by striking these?
Justin saying.
Well, like,
Screen? Are you
some
sure?
of it's
Oh,
just like,
goddamn.
electric ranges, it's gonna be over 120 volts or over 20 amps, you know? Some of those, the clothes dryer is gonna be more than that. So it's kind of redundant to put it in there, but I will say this right now, that I am not a fan of taking stuff out of the code. I work in jurisdictions all over the country, and very few jurisdictions make it less safe or take stuff out of it. It's usually making it more stringent.
Yes.
And so, you know, even though the city, and I don't know liability wise on the city, if they take on liability by taking some of this out, and if something happens, I know as an engineer, if you guys even take it out, I wouldn't take it out of my specs. I'd still enforce it. So it's just, because there's liability there. If the owner coming back and saying, well, the NEC says you have to do this, but the city said, well, we don't think we really want to do it. So this is more of you're saving money. I mean,
But Laura, with that comment, you're okay with these strike throughs 6 through 12?
these were the least effective ones. This is kind of me trying to come to a middle ground of saying, if we want to save some money somewhere, this is where I would say we're going to save money. Clothes dryers isn't even going to fall into this category, so it doesn't really matter. It can be struck out. I don't know how much.
Ranges wouldn't even fall into this category either, so they need to be stricken out.
Right. I mean, so
With microwaves typically, unless it is a hardwired microwave, but.
So that was just my way of saying, if we're really worried about cost of construction in Lawrence, if that is a big sticking point with people here in Lawrence, these are the least dangerous things to strike out.
But we're talking about GFCI protection, right? So
Right.
it's not a huge cost. I mean,
Right.
can't that be, I mean, could that be an argument? Not an argument, just a response?
I mean, the safe thing to do is not take it out, but
Well, and let me reiterate, our goal here is to get, in the perfect world, we get a unanimous vote, correct? That's what we want to strive for. I want to be able to go to the commission and go, yeah, all these ordinances passed 11-0, whatever that is, or whatever the vote is at the time that we discuss them.
Well,
To me, this is something that we should strive to come to, attempt to get a unanimous decision on, because I don't think that this one is
Now-
debatable.
now I will say, see, in the green where we struck that out, that was Justin's, I think, items, and see.
Green
so-
is staff, yes.
Of staff, so you
Yep.
got 60 amp and we took it down to 20 amp. So if it was still 60 amp, then electric ranges would be in it. Or 3-phase, so your clothes dryers would still be applicable, your ranges still be applicable, so we kind of took some items out of there. If you take the green, the green changes.
You put the green in it, yeah, you're correct.
well, I think the goal, of course, we'd like to meet a consensus on things, but the goal of the board is to provide a safe built environment for the community through adoption of these codes. And I think just for what you're gonna possibly save, like Laura said, I think about running into some type of liability. I don't know what that is, the liability for the city to do that, but I just don't think there's enough reasoning to strike these.
So are you saying you want GFCIs on sump pumps, Adrian?
The circuit to be protected.
Yeah, I'm a plumber here, I'm not.
Yeah, that's the one that I don't. that's
Well,
the
no,
one-
some pump is the one that kind
Yeah,
of
that's
sticks
the-
out of there.
So I would advise, let's try to get to a decision on which ones you want left and so forth. It sounds like sump pumps may be one,
Yeah.
that you don't want to touch.
Right.
I don't wanna get that call.
Yeah, no,
Because
some
I'm
pumps
getting
should
that
not be in
call.
there, in my
That it
opinion.
tripped and it.
Yeah,
you gotta
that my
be-
basement's flooded.
Flooded because it
And the
tripped.
sump pump you put in last week.
Isn't working and they
Isn't
can't figure out
working.
the breaker, the
Yeah.
GFI breaker.
No, I
Yeah,
understand.
that's very good reasoning. So I would certainly leave some in.
Well, do you just want to quickly go down each one and talk? It sounds like some pumps is one that everyone's agreeing to leave in.
Well, the first thing we need to address is if
Or
it's
take out.
150 volts versus and 60 amps in single and three phase, or if we're taking the three phase and down to 20 amps and 120 volts. So that's really, we got to address that.
Yeah, I think we need to address that first.
Right.
Yes, because that determines the list.
So if we could just look at that only, Adrian, do you have any objections to that?
Well, I'm gonna always say, don't amend. That's gonna be my first comment about anything, but if, I don't really have a problem with the way the green is amended at all,
Okay,
other than I wouldn't amend anything. But,
Well,
so,
and the three-phase, if I'm understanding, would only be commercial property, never a residential property.
There's a few residential
There's a few
properties out there.
residential
but not many.
Three-phase,
Yeah,
I tried to get a three-phase, and I'm literally right next to the pole, they would not give it to me.
But you're also, I mean, I don't know where
well, it's pre-existing.
apartments and stuff lie.
Brand new build.
That'd be three
No,
phase.
but there's a lot, there's
Yeah,
pre-existing
pre-existing.
three-phase
yeah.
that from wherever they got three-phase.
I don't have a problem taking it down to 20 and 120 volts amps at this time and taking the three phase out. I don't have a problem with that. And then after that, I mean, I would take some pumps out. You can leave the rest in there, but your wall mounted ovens wouldn't count then anyway, so they're gone. Clothes dryers are gone anyway.
Ranges.
Ranges are gone, yeah. So a lot of that stuff's already taken out. The only things,
One I would maybe want to discuss is that we've been doing brand new houses for, and dishwashers. I've gotten brand new Bosch dishwashers. And they'll trip that
All the
GFI.
time.
They'll send it back to the manufacturer. They'll send a brand new Bosch, and these are not cheap. These are like
Very expensive.
very expensive. They send back another brand new one and it trips the GFI. And
I took the GFCI off my circuit that has a dishwasher because I got a Bosch. It is an issue with a Bosch. And
yeah,
I don't think dishwashers necessarily need it where it's located.
okay, so we're talking about taking sumps and dishwashers off, for sure.
So, and inherently with the green, the ovens and the clothes dryers come off too. Is that how I understand it?
In the range.
In the range.
Okay,
So we're crossing out 6, 8, 9, 11.
Not to
Right now.
backtrack too much. So what I'm hearing is on the green,
That's fine.
let's stay.
Adrian, you're good. So if that stays, then we'll take sump pumps, dishwashers off, and some of the other ones automatically fall off because of the reduction.
Right.
So what would it look like? Just,
the only one that come back would be the microwave.
And the counter-mounted cooking units, I'm not sure what that
Oh, I know,
is.
yeah.
Air fryer, probably.
Yeah, but that's just
That-
plugged into
no,
a
I would
convenience
not,
outlet.
yeah, I would not X that out. So 10 and 12 would both
Yeah.
come back.
10 and 12 are back. That's all I have.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 and 12 would definitely
Or 10
come
and
back.
12, yeah.
What about microwaves?
No, those would come back. I don't have no problems with those being GSC. I
Yeah.
don't have any problems with microwaves tripping
So we
GSI.
leave the green alone, 10 and 12 come back, everything else goes off.
Yep.
Everyone else is struck out.
Yeah,
okay,
Agreed.
microwaves I don't see no problems with those ever.
No, because what we'll do is
Okay,
we'll wait for adoption because we'll adopt it as is. So we'll make those, what we'll do is
Redraft.
we'll redraft it
Yeah.
with those corrections and then we'll take a vote on it. So we don't have to just vote on the agreements. But I will note that Adrian is great.
Will it be in the minutes?
The recorded ones, yes.
Okay, so I am moving to F, JJ.
Yes, yeah.
can I ask a question now?
Yes, sir.
I had a difficult time trying to understand the comments. Were the comments about the previous ordinance or the comments about the ordinance that follows? I just want to make sure I was reading it right.
Well, there wasn't consistency there.
It's kind of-
Some of Laura's came at different spots than.
Yeah.
Laura's I inserted because hers came in an email.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Lords are after, right?
Yeah,
Lords are after, okay,
Yeah.
Blue and green are previous.
okay, all
I'm
right,
agreeing to the blue and the green, or
Okay.
the colors.
okay, all right, all right, all right.
So like, the GFCI shall not be required for HVAC equipment. Take out exception shall expire,
Yeah, you guys talked about vehicle chargers, okay.
and then vehicle chargers.
And then green and blue is for 210.11.
Now, on this next one, I don't know who made a comment about the outside outlets were rarely used now. And just my personal experience, and then I'm always outside with stuff hooked up to my outside outlet. And so this is saying this is saying you don't want any outlets. No,
No,
this is saying you can or can't.
what my comment was is the exception, this circuit shall be permitted to supply outdoor receptacle outlets. And that was the laundry branch circuit. So I'm saying do not allow the laundry branch circuit to supply the outdoor units. That should be on a separate circuit.
Okay.
So if that pops, I'm not sitting there going, why isn't my?
Yeah, you gotta go around looking at every GFCI.
That was my comment.
Okay, all right.
No,
My only thought to that is, the reason I tried to put that in is because a lot of times laundry rooms are like really far away from everything else. And we do have a 20 amp circuit, but my thing is that I believe we excluded the laundry room from needing to have GFCI protection already. We previously,
No, what we did is, because laundry areas wasn't clearly defined, we struck laundry areas and then protected sinks and outlets near the sink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did, so I don't know if that comes into.
well, I'm
play.
just
So
saying,
that-
if the outside outlet, if it had a GFCI, it wouldn't trip the whole laundry is all I'm saying. It wouldn't trip the whole thing if there was a local GFCI outside.
yes, if it's circuited that way.
Yeah.
So the code is saying you can add outlets on the laundry circuit, and we're saying you can't.
Except-
What do we, I'm curious.
Well, I think what we're saying, Adrian, tell me if I'm wrong. What Laura is saying is we want to strike exception 1, correct?
Well, was that already in the code, or is that was
No,
your
this is my
suggestion?
proposal.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your proposal.
Right.
Yeah, this is my proposal. It's just more coming from a wiring standpoint from
And it's not, honestly, not that, it's not life safety, it's not that big a deal. I mean, as a contractor, if it's easier to do that, that's fine. I mean, some.
well, and I modified it to say only one exterior outlet directly outside. 'Cause
I like that.
The scenario is you've got this laundry room and it's, for whatever reason, it's really far away from anything
Mm-hmm.
else that you'll see anywhere. And it's just one exit. You've got multiple exits throughout the house. I'm not suggesting they would be allowed to supply any of those.
Just one.
Just the one.
One outdoor outlet?
One directly, it has
By
to
the
be an
laundry room.
exit off of the laundry room itself, is what I'm
On
saying.
an exterior.
Okay,
wall of the
because
laundry room.
is that part helping?
That's just
like
helping
Laura's comment, like
wiring,
you
yeah,
go through
wiring.
the- You're trying to figure out where the GFCI is, and you would never think it's the laundry room.
Well, that's not gonna be one that's probably tripped that often, because you're not, that's probably gonna be,
The little
just a
side
convenience.
exit, yeah, it's like a side outlet.
It's not gonna be the one someone's plugging in a bunch of Christmas lights to and blowing a
Yeah.
circuit.
But
So,
what if you're running your dryer? Now, what else
No,
is
that-
on that laundry circuit?
there's just a plug-in for the washer. The dryer's on its own
The
circuit.
washer.
Okay. All right, so if you're running the dryer.
And
And you're
sometimes,
outside
and I don't know how the people are,
running
but sometimes we just run a dedicated washer and then we'll put the laundry on its own circuit
Mhm.
because they've got an iron board and other stuff.
Depending on how big it
And
is,
so we
yeah.
might use that circuit to
Okay.
power the outlet,
Yeah.
outside one.
So for clarification, JJ, we haven't seen that addition to exception number 1. What does it say?
This is one of the ones you wanted to change. You had
This
just-
is something I wanted to add.
Yep.
Okay.
And if I'm not clearly stating it in here, I'm just suggesting only that the laundry room, if it has an exit, only if it has an exit, the laundry room would be able to supply one exterior outlet
By that exit.
by that
Exit
exit,
door.
and it has to be a laundry exit.
Okay, so yeah, that would just be added to exception number 1.
Yeah.
Yes,
You have
I'm
language,
looking at my notes,
this isn't according to Matt, we haven't updated this yet with that
Okay.
language.
Okay, so let's, I'm in agreement with that, but let's look at the language before we approve it.
No, no.
Yeah, but we need the
What
language.
what we'll do is we'll put it back, we'll put it in, and then when we come back, we will,
Yeah.
everyone will look at that. We're not gonna approve anything until you
Okay,
can see it.
okay, all right.
This may not have anything to do with it, but it's just something I noticed
Yeah.
before. A lot of the new washers are wash and dry, and they come off at 110 volt out.
Yes.
So if you have a conventional house that's pre-wired for a dryer and one washer, now you've got two washers. If you don't go back with a conventional dryer, which is happening quite a bit, we see them a lot in houses where it's both washers wash and dry, no dryer.
So on those, though, if you read the manuals on all of them, they're gonna tell you that that needs to be a dedicated circuit.
Circuit, okay.
So any other receptacles in the laundry are gonna have to be,
They'll have
not
to
on,
run something
not
new.
on with that outlet.
Okay.
So if you've got washer dryer combo, nothing else will be on with that anyway,
Okay.
or shouldn't be.
It's under 220.
It's 120.
And maybe we
There's
should
no
add,
heating.
now, maybe that's something we should add to the code, because if it's becoming more common,
Yeah.
that would be something we should
But also,
say.
there's no heating element. in
No,
those.
and it's
There
really
is no-
crazy. They
yeah.
draw hardly any electricity.
Yeah, there's no
It's
heating
really-
element in those.
Yeah.
So there's no extra draw on that compared to a regular washer. They're just using air and spinning.
So I'll get on that.
I'm clear now.
Yeah. There's no
That don't
heating.
seem like it will.
Never in my world. Yeah, that time.
Might save money, but it'll run forever.
So JJ, just for clarification, you will owe us that language. and-
I will owe you that language
Okay.
to clarify better.
Okay, got it.
Definitely owe
Great.
you that language.
So everyone's good. What I heard is everyone's good with that.
If we can clear the language up.
Okay, great.
Action item for JJ.
Okay.
We're making good progress. Let's.
What is this one?
Wait, is this the arc bolts? Can we skip the arc bolts and go to the rest of the amendments?
I'm fine with that.
I thought we pretty much figured out our
I
fault.
thought we said bedrooms and living areas.
Oh, if we're in agreement on that, I'm in agreement.
Well, no, I don't want to misspeak.
I thought Laura and I said exclude hallways and closets.
I said,
Well, isn't that pretty much everything?
Yeah,
Isn't that pretty much bedrooms and everything else that's living space?
mhm. I think it was, there was like rec rooms crossed out, which I didn't like. I
You
think rec
said-
rooms should
yeah.
have AFCI, and that was,
So I think we can get through this pretty quick.
yeah.
Well, can we go over each one then and see if we all agree?
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Let's
Okay.
do it.
So kitchens, what is everybody's opinion on that?
kitchens for sure. I think Laura said something. No, she was talking about commercial kitchens.
Well, no, I think residential kitchens too, those plug-in appliances nowadays, like the air fryers and stuff like that, they can cause them. So I think,
So is this more commercial that you're applying it to?
no, this is more my kitchen, at my house.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to visit this again on the IRC.
Yeah.
Maybe, I know a lot when we reviewed the code, as far as nuisance tripping was concerned, where you had maintenance men on site in commercial apartments and that sort of thing, as opposed to single-family residential.
No, this is dwelling units that we're looking at right here.
Are there still as many fault trips with the third series of these arc faults? Have you
No,
ever seen
they're
that?
better. They're a lot better.
A dwelling unit is apartment. So we're talking apartments too.
So I still don't really agree with the kitchen part because it's already got the GFCI protection. I know that they're not the same thing, but we've got that added protection of the GFCIs, but that's just my opinion. I think the living areas makes more sense to me than the kitchens personally, but that's my opinion.
I think of kitchens of where my kids are sitting there with their laptop plugged in, their iPad plugged in, their phone plugged in, and I'm starting to run an appliance, that's kind of what I'm at the counter.
Let me ask you this. Everything else, can you scroll down just a little bit, Matt? Okay, so everything, all right, so we're pretty much good on closets, hallways, correct?
About leaving those in,
Striking those out.
Yeah.
So
11 and
is it
12
fair
are
to
out.
say that kitchen's the only one and the rest of the group that's up for debate?
Rec rooms, I don't want rec rooms.
You want rec rooms left in?
Yeah, there's too much
Yes.
electronics plugged in there.
No, yeah, so,
Well,
I thought we talked about all living areas to be included.
well, what I'm saying is that's basically if you throw out closets and hallways, that's pretty much everything else except for kitchens where,
Laundry areas, closets, hallways,
Bathroom.
sunrooms.
well, and what would you guys classify a parlor as?
Right, the vocabulary here is a little.
Yeah, living room. Yeah, it's a living room, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I
I
mean,
guess my.
what's the difference between a
maybe
parlor and a library?
Sunrooms
Yeah.
would be one I don't necessarily see needed either.
No, I agree. I don't think you need them in sunrooms. You're not having a lot of stuff plugged in. Closets, hallways.
And then the laundry areas would be another one that I wouldn't, because we've already got GFCI protection in there. So my main ones would be kitchens that I would not want included. I'm sorry, I'm just going down the list again.
Yeah, just go down.
So currently, what is the code? What are we excluding? Currently, we have
Just
excluded
bedrooms.
bedrooms.
Yeah,
So JJ's talking about habitable space, basically.
Yeah, habitable space.
No kitchens, no bathrooms, no hallways, no closets,
yeah, that's, you're reading.
unless we add sunrooms.
Well, by definition,
Sunrooms
by
would be
definition though, I
habitable
think kitchen's habitable space.
Kitchen is?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Well, my
sure.
reasoning there is that we already have GFCI.
yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
Not gonna.
So I think what I'm hearing is we just need to identify the ones that you want struck out.
okay. So I would propose kitchens be struck out. I would propose that sunrooms be struck out.
Hallways and
Hallways and closets. And laundry areas, because we have the GFCI protection there.
So you'd leave dens, libraries, parlors in there too, and rec rooms as having them?
Yeah, I think those are all living,
Areas.
where people are,
And I agree with you. I would strike out, well, sort of. I would agree closets and hallways, but I would leave in sunrooms because a lot of people gather in sunrooms a lot.
especially during certain times of the year.
Certain times of year, yep. It's a living space.
Plugging in space heaters.
14 similar
Yeah,
areas.
space heaters and
I know.
everything.
Similar area.
The fine thing with the summers is they're already GFCI protected, generally speaking, unless it's a 4 seasons, it's gonna be GFCI protected usually.
Yeah, but we're talking about AFCI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
but
understand.
we have that extra protection.
Well,
Is a sunroom an outside room?
no,
No.
no, it's connected to the house as part of the
So
footprint.
it's connected, but it doesn't have to be in the thermal boundary. It doesn't have to be in the house, or it is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is it defined as like thermally? So in other words, you can't just have screen windows.
Well,
Here, so you got water.
No, a sunroom, I think is thermal, in the thermal
Is it
envelope.
the thermal?
Yeah.
It's part of the living, it's a living area.
Okay.
so what I'm hearing is sunrooms out of that 5 that JJ mentioned might be the only one that we want to keep in. Eliminate
Kitchens.
kitchen, hallways, closets and laundry.
Kitchens is a question, sunroom is a question.
Yeah,
Closets and hallways are home runs, laundry areas, question mark.
no, let it go.
Okay, so the questions
there's
are
5.
sunrooms and kitchen.
There's 5 and 3 of the 5 are solid. 2 are up for debate on sunrooms and kitchens. Mr. Jones,
I would think we leave sunrooms in, because it's, people gather whenever I go over relatives' house. I'm trying to get a sunroom, but people really hang out there in certain times of the winter.
In some ways, it's not much different than living rooms.
Yeah.
Parlors, libraries, den, fits with.
It's a great space for my dogs.
You want them protected,
JJ, you
right?
good with
When they
that?
chew on that cord out there.
Yeah, if we just say we could keep kitchens and closets, hallways. and
Kitchens,
laundry.
closets and hallways are out.
And laundry, yeah. Or did you
And
say-
laundry, I'm sorry, you're right.
I'm good with that.
Christine, are you okay with that?
Is he still there?
Bueller,
What if we said habitable spaces except for kitchen?
He was taking a nap.
That would make it real easy.
I wish I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my only question to that,
Can't hear you.
Neil,
I think we lost him again.
my only question would be, we'd have to look at the definition of habitable spaces and make sure it was doing what
Yeah, I
we
think-
intended.
I think we should
What
do-
is that?
I
Okay.
think we should stick to the strikeouts, because
Yeah.
all we're doing is.
That's my only concern. If you said habitable, we'd have to reevaluate habitable.
Bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because the building code.
I think we're darn close. I think we're talking about keeping sunrooms in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Are you good with that, Adrian?
Yes, I am.
All right, so
Chris, the only question I have is about kitchens. How do you guys feel about the AFCI in kitchens on a fire protection level?
Yeah, and can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and thanks for allowing me to come on today. We used to have a fire department representation on the electrical board in the previous board sets, but so I'm catching up on lots of changes and things that we used to look at. The arc fault is obviously, I don't know about, I mean, I'm not out there running the calls, right? So I don't know exactly. I have to do a little digging to get more input on how what they're seeing, right? Now, when we talk about causes of fires, right? 47% of all residential fires are in the kitchen. And 74% of those 47% are in multifamily. So the other part are just in single family. So that's significant, right? So those things that are put in place to help protect us and those circuits are obviously important to do. I know that previously when arc fault was discussed in the previous code section, there was lots of discussion of, the phantom trips or the accidental trips or those kinds of things. And I know that the board worked at that time to reduce those. And so I think, and I don't know, you all probably have already had this conversation, but arc fault has come a long ways since when we first started talking about it many moons ago. And so it's interesting. That's what I'm seeing is you're just planning on leaving it in the family rooms and bedrooms.
And other places, every place except hallways, closets, what do we say, hallways?
Laundry,
Laundry.
sunroom, well, sunroom's the same.
We're looking at closets, hallways, laundry rooms, and potentially kitchens. That's where we're at. So we got basically
Taking them out.
taking them out. The kitchens are the one area we're still discussing through.
Unless there's a specific data that's showing that why is this data driven on why we're taking all these out, or is that just from general knowledge of challenges?
Well, I think it's a couple things, in my opinion. I'll let the board speak as well. I think it's general knowledge as the group that has the expertise from Laura, Adrian, and JJ. Then secondly, hallways, closets, and laundry rooms aren't specifically habitable spaces that are typically occupied by people for any significant period of time. Therefore, we didn't think that was necessary. And then, is that a fair statement?
Yeah, so what is members' reasoning for leaving them in the kitchen, I would ask. I think that's what, since we're down to kitchens, right? So what is the reasoning for striking for the kitchens?
I'll just say how we use our kitchen. It is used probably more than our living room. I mean, we cook there, we eat there. The kids do their homework on the counter there. All their electronics are plugged in there while I'm cooking. There's just a lot going on in those those receptacles. That the one good thing is it's probably the most used room. So we do monitor those outlets more. I can see if it's burning up an outlet or not, but I think you're gonna have some issues there.
Question along those lines. If you say kitchens, there's so much that goes into a kitchen. But what if we could come to a medium where it's the kitchen countertops and island receptacles? The general purpose receptacles would be AFI'd, but specific appliances with dedicated circuits wouldn't require that.
Your two required kitchen circuits would, right?
You're right.
Right, those would be required,
Those
not
would be
the general.
not the dishwasher.
Right, no, I agree.
Garbage disposal.
That's what I meant. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Your two dedicated circuits for your kitchen that's required
Because
by
the way the
code.
code's written and the way it's enforced is every
Just
single
everything.
circuit, so if we could come to that medium, I would be okay with that, because now you're cutting it down from like 10 to 2.
Yes.
So
Huge.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
I
huge
agree.
cost savings and those are the outlets that are being plugged and unplugged and kids are plugging their USBs in and the dedicated appliances, the outlet is behind and is rarely ever unplugged or plugged.
So
Right, and I
Almost
wasn't even
never
thinking
seen
about
bad
that.
things happen with
Yeah.
those type of things, but things that are being unplugged and where extension cords can be involved or anything like that. That would be your two countertop circuits, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I think the language would be, GFCI, however we write it. If we're going to that reason, and I don't have a problem with that, would be the outlets as required in 21052.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So what that would look like is we would unstrike kitchens. And we would underscore exactly what Adrian said.
Yeah.
Under number one. And then we would take out, to re-summarize, we would take out closets, hallways, and laundry areas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And amend kitchens.
Yep.
Okay.
In kitchens, yeah. I would be in agreement with that.
Okay, everyone okay with that?
yeah, Chris is okay with that.
Chris?
Yeah.
You shook.
He gave the thumbs up.
All right. Okay.
How do you feel about that?
So JJ, how much money did we just spend?
That helped a bunch.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, that helps a lot. And but I also feel like we're still getting the safety that we need.
Yep, that's the
No, I
key.
agree.
So
You know,
I'm not trying to take away that, but you know,
Yeah.
where it makes sense, let's try to.
Yeah.
Are we talking what?
Bobby, I forgot you were
$1,500
even in the.
Yeah,
room.
yeah, in the kitchen now, we're only adding
And then the whole house
the whole house.
versus what we did.
We're probably adding up around, oh gosh, we're still probably adding a good $500 easy. to
500.
Me to 1,000, depending on how big your house is.
Yes, that's-
I mean, I'm doing houses with $3,000 of art.
We're not talking about those.
I promise. They're not that big of a house, though. They're really not.
Yeah.
I'm talking a 4-bedroom or 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
Right.
With $3,000 in AFIs, because it's the hood in the kitchen, it's the microwave. in the
Yeah, and
kitchen,
that's not required.
dishwasher.
Right, yeah.
If you've got a fireplace, and another thing that I might say in living rooms is what I see a lot of fireplaces that need a dedicated circuit.
Station.
Mhm.
So that maybe there's a way that we can incorporate, dedicated equipment in these areas. Don't need to have that protection. Because I feel like all of this is extension cords, people plugging
Just
in.
plugging and unplugging.
It's the
in
general
cords, yeah.
outlets that are the issue, and that's where
So
the
it's non-dedicated outlets.
yeah, maybe we could add language in there that's,
So
dedicated.
Well, that's a big
Non-dedicated.
change. That's a big change. from-
one follow-up question, which one of the board members wants to take the lead on amending that number one on the kitchen?
I mean,
We can work together and do it,
yeah, we
yeah.
all-
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, all right.
I mean, I think you're
Just want to
working.
make sure so we don't leave here not knowing who's doing what.
So we're talking about only only requiring GFCI on the AFCI on the required 2 circuits.
Right, to the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, that just makes me think of living rooms with fireplaces is another area where you got a dedicated piece of equipment, calls for a dedicated circuit, but it's not
Well-
accessible to anybody,
Number 6 or number 7 or whatever you can put down there is any dedicated
equipment.
equipment.
Yeah,
Circuits shall not be required to have AFCI.
There
yeah.
you go.
Would that be acceptable? I agree with you.
Mhm, yeah, I
100%.
agree.
Aren't we going back and counter,
Counter.
406.9? Aren't we kind of changing that around? If you
This is
go with
only
just-
AFI,
Okay.
Yeah.
this is not
Yeah.
GFI.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not changing
So
GFI.
Laura, can you reiterate what you just said? What,
Just added for under similar rooms of saying,
7.
Dedicated equipment in these rooms will not be required to be, supplied by a dedicated branch circuit.
Yeah.
Would not be required to have a.
so would you suggest adding that to 6 or making that 7?
to 7. I don't know what similar rooms, I mean, we've outlined the rooms and
That'd be-
That's a catch-all.
yeah, that's so open, it's gonna leave
I
it.
guarantee you it's not defined anywhere.
No, so I think you take that out and just put ours in there.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
so that'd be 14, right?
Well,
Which one are you on?
You're right.
this
It's,
is,
well, I'm
we're
sorry.
modifying as we go.
I'm on dwelling.
So we're not including family rooms.
Here, I'm back here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So if it's a family room, you don't have to do it.
No, family room, you should.
You
should.
have
Not on the list, just living room.
No, it's number two.
What's the
He's trying to be
difference?
funny. He's trying to be funny, Laura.
Similar area.
Any room a person can sit in for over.
Oh, it is on there.
So
Living
we're,
room,
so
living rooms
for
are on there.
clarification, so
Family
making sure I
rooms are on
understand,
there.
we're
It's
talking
okay.
about amending 14.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Dens, libraries.
Okay,
That pretty much covers everything.
Okay,
do we need to beat that one anymore, or are we good with
that
that?
was the big one.
Okay. All these other ones will be easy.
Dormitories, Laura, not to speak for you, but you agreed with these strike-throughs except for bathrooms.
Where are we at here?
We're in C, dormitory.
Okay, dormitories, hallways, closets, bathrooms. No, did I say not bathrooms?
No, bathroom should be
Oh,
included in
yeah.
dormitory.
Bathrooms should be in dorms, yes.
Right.
Yep. But we would, like we did with the other, we would
Yeah.
eliminate hallways and closets.
Yeah.
Right.
Bathrooms, though, stays in.
Mhm. And do you want the similar rooms striked out again? Because,
With that same note that we came up with, or just
well,
get
there's
rid
not
of it?
gonna have any dedicated
No,
equipment.
not in dorm rooms.
So we're just getting rid of similar rooms.
The HVAC, like if you have a through the wall unit.
Right.
You're right, yeah, so I would.
I would put that note in there too, I guess,
Okay.
any,
Same note as on
Yeah.
14 on the 6th?
Yeah,
Okay,
They might even have a washer dryer unit. It's kind of a suite type thing.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree to put the same note, but it would be 6 on this.
Correct.
We would amend 6 to say.
Yeah,
dedicated
this note
equipment.
here that we're replacing similar areas,
Yeah.
we're gonna copy
Okay.
it to 6 also.
so we got that resolved.
Okay.
Now, what is this note about?
It's gotta be GFCI, right?
I gotta look for the
No?
modification.
It's the sump pump.
Sump pumps,
Yeah, nobody's arguing on something.
Nobody's arguing, so,
Okay,
okay.
sump pumps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Good.
mhm,
I don't think anybody's.
no. I don't-
Kevin,
No one that has.
got a comment?
Yeah.
Walk down.
Something's not working.
The next one is the garage doors.
Is this the one someone was talking about, wouldn't they be able to get out because they couldn't reach the release?
Potentially,
I recall that conversation to
Yeah.
some degree.
Now, what is it, what is the amendment?
just to allow a single receptacle like a sump pump. To allow a single, it to be on a single receptacle, it's going to be a dedicated circuit if it's a garage.
Garage door opener on a
Right.
single receptacle.
I'm skipping
versus
over a
GFCI.
comment.
Versus a GFCI.
Right, yeah, I agree with
Back. We
that.
gotta get through some,
Adrian,
Yeah, I'm okay with
anyone disagree with that? Okay,
this.
There we go.
What about the countertop outlets that was kind of between that?
Yeah. well,
Sump pump thing?
this shelter-
Yeah, we'll go back.
Oh, did I miss something?
You did not.
Okay,
I thought the board already required a single outlet. Maybe that was a location of an outlet above the garage door.
well, currently, it either has to be GFCI or a single receptacle currently in Lawrence.
Okay, and
And you
then
can
what-
choose to put a GFCI on it,
I don't know why it would, but
and you can still choose to do that, because anybody can, go above, but
right.
And
we're suggesting keeping that, is basically what I'm,
right.
Okay, all right.
keeping it the way it is right now,
Okay.
allowing a single receptacle. on it.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't see an issue with that.
Okay,
I just was confused about what exactly, my notes. About what exactly.
then the islands, countertops is the next one. And I thought we did discuss this at one point and everyone was in agreement, but
If you want to
Started
use the
to at least.
Yeah.
if you want to use the pop-up outlets, you can. If you don't have to, you can still put them on the side there. And the reasoning from my understanding, and Chris, this might be something you want to talk about too, I don't know. The reason they took them away from the side countertops was because kids were pulling those, KitchenAid mixers down on top of them. Which that's a use, that's not a life safety thing that's more of a parenting issue. Sorry.
Smack them in.
Yeah.
The code for poor parenting.
Yeah, right? So I don't know
A lot
why,
of code is probably based on that, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and cost on
Anti-tip
that,
device
just
on the
putting
main.
them in countertops, I mean, this is something goes hand in hand with the builder association too. We're adding some costs for safety issues that need to be there. But is it necessary to have them in the countertops? Can they still always be in the side as
Right.
well? Because it was just tops, was it not?
right, they took them out of the sides.
Yeah.
And,
Which they also allow you to not have them anymore.
At all.
Which I think is more dangerous
I
that
agree.
is
than
horrible.
anything. I would
Yeah.
much rather have one on the side so that, because what you're gonna get is people are gonna say, well, I don't want them at all. Because I don't want that pop-up because I hate the look of it.
But,
You know,
you know, cost on what that runs?
On the pop-up?
Mhm.
when I looked at just off of Home Depot, they were like $400 for
Yeah.
a decent looking one.
yeah.
Well, and then all the work with getting the holes for granite or
Granite.
marble, or,
Yeah.
oh my God.
And I looked at bake and
Cutting
there's
them
gonna be
right.
flour,
How do you
you know,
clean
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
There's-
I have one and it's awful.
Yeah,
Chris, have you had a lot of runs on this at all in the city of Lawrence for children pulling appliances off the side of a center medium in a kitchen?
Not that I'm aware of. That would be a pretty major dive. I was trying to think of any significant ones, yeah, no, I haven't.
And
I don't recall.
I know that's just an off the cuff question, but I agree with it. A lot of that's parenting, you know, it is.
Well, and if we take the outlets away from the counter, now I'm gonna have an extension cord
Extension
over here
cord,
to
which
that
is
big
more
hex.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Trip
I
on.
like how the old code was written, that you had to have them required,
Mhm.
and they can be, if you want pop-up, fine.
Great.
If you want to put them on the side, great.
Mhm.
Extension cords are prohibited in my house.
I bet.
you still have to have them with the 6-inch overhang, you know,
Right.
and within 12 inches of the top of the counter. So we're still minimizing that risk, in my opinion.
I like them in the side. I think that's
Yeah,
smart.
we're not allowing them down on the floor, you
So
know.
Matt, can you scroll down to where this would be, where we identify this?
I say you cut and paste from the old code and put it back in there, in my opinion,
I agree.
and then add, if they want to do pop-up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory. Is it in the code right now as we amended?
It's not a big.
It's just the 2017
old code.
language. We're just wanting to keep the 2017 language.
We'll just keep the 2017. Okay.
Yeah.
Which would not prohibit counter pop-ups either.
Right.
2017 would
They
not
want to do them
prohibit,
great.
you
If they
know,
want to do them, that's.
if you want to
yeah,
have them great, good for you.
We want to let them do it in the side as well.
Right,
Yeah, so we need a,
and we want them required for a certain size.
Yes.
Yeah, we want them
Got
required, which the 17 would require.
Mhm.
The 2020 would not.
Correct.
Require.
okay, so what we're saying. is
Require outlets that I.
We need to go
17.
back to 17.
We need to go back to 17. Okay.
And that's making the road code more stringent.
Yeah.
We should always keep in mind that we're talking about, even though we're talking about dwelling units, we're talking about apartments. Okay.
Yeah.
With the NEC. Mr. JJ, garage door opener receptacle outlets. Is the next
Yeah,
I
one.
thought we already
We
talked
just
about
did that
Yeah,
one, yep.
we're good.
Yeah, we're good there.
Sorry. I reworded this, Laura, so these aren't your exact.
Okay,
words.
that's fine. Oh, are we talking about the show windows?
Yeah. Now, I
Yeah.
have a lot of experience with this one. So on plan review, we had show window receptacles because we amended this into the code because they weren't providing outlets and you want to do cord and plug connected with those things. And extension cords with those is where we're finding. So when the plans come in, we review them. And if I don't see outlets near a second floor window, I wouldn't have even addressed it. And then so architects were coming back and they would say, well, what about the windows on the backside that's facing another apartment? Or what about the windows that's not facing the main street? And we would say, if it's facing another apartment or facing another alley or something like that, no, you wouldn't have to put the show window
That's nice.
receptacles in. So it was kind of a case-by-case basis on this. I don't, in my many years of reviewing plans, I don't think I ever came across a situation where somebody with a second floor, third floor, like your Bass Pro Shops
Mhm.
would even put them in,
Well,
we
that's what-
wouldn't question them.
It says, in buildings that are non-residents, each exterior window shall be considered a show window. And so I'm saying there, I don't think that should, no, it should be, windows that are front facing or,
Ground
Very
level.
specifically
Yeah.
Right,
storefront,
right.
display.
Frontage.
and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, if you're
Main
gonna add an
entry.
outlet there later, if someone wants to put a sign there, it's not gonna be that hard to get there typically.
Typically,
You know.
depending on the construction of the building, not typically.
Right.
Usually there's a ceiling or you can run an exposed conduit over to it to add a sign, so it's not something that's hard to, but it is. Does take a lot of circuits up if you've got a lot of retail front facing, how that's written up. And so if you're adding any more to that, you're pushing those retail providers pretty hard.
So we want to amend, that's JJ's proposal there.
We want to specify
We want to
more
specify,
here.
clarify what the show window is.
And that's what we actually tried to do with that, but, so I don't know how you write that language. So what are we trying to limit the number? Laura, we're trying to limit, like if a building has a whole bunch of
I just-
front facing windows.
Right, I just didn't like how this said each exterior window shall be considered.
And that's not mine. I don't know why that's blue.
So I don't want.
I never addressed this part of the
So if
code.
they've got 20 windows, you'd have to have 20 outlets.
I think this is old, this is old
This is
language.
old
I think you get
language.
rid of that and it's pretty specific.
Hot potato.
You know,
So if we strike that old language, yeah, you're right. Is the green replying to this one here? So that's an amendment we put in. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to lessen what the previous code said, right?
and honestly, I think it should be on business occupancies on first floor and retail occupancies on first floor, if it's
Yeah.
business. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, that's narrowing it down. And
yeah.
facing, what was, somebody just came up with the term, frontage?
Front, yeah, the front of
Frontage.
the building
What
only.
happens if you've got a,
Corner.
well, but,
So
you've got like 100 foot of curtain wall.
No, you're adding
Is
it.
that a window or what's?
No,
what's a
every
window?
12 feet. What is it here?
So that gets really tricky to do because then you're running in mullions.
Yeah, says 6 feet, you have to be close. So every 12 feet, we have to put it on. And then the code also says there's a limit on how many you put on a circuit too, I believe.
So that's very tricky to do.
That's a lot of
It's
outlets.
130 VA for each receptacle, I believe. Right? Is
I
that
thought
what you're referring
Maybe
to?
it's
How many?
somewhere in California that we're
180
working
VA, I
on that we ran
I
into.
That
believe
sounds
it's
like
100.
California.
Yeah.
180 VA.
So I do have something that maybe isn't relevant, but maybe it is. We are starting to see more mixed use
Mhm.
Mhm.
with ground floor,
Retail.
retail type stuff, residential. Does that change anyone's wording or thought on
No,
this?
because the retail would still require it on the bottom floor.
Okay,
Yeah.
But back to the 100-foot window, let's say it's a business, like an insurance agency. Do we really expect them to plug in a sign or something
Maybe
every
10 feet.
10
And-
feet?
I would be fine of saying just retail, because if a business adds a sign, they're gonna add the circuit to power that sign. I mean, if it's a retail establishment or a restaurant retail,
That would be where I would see most of those signs. If
That's
you're an insurance company.
if you need a sign, you'll either power it up or it's gonna be on the
Yeah.
exterior building,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna be a little beer sign hanging on the window.
Yeah, I would agree that it's mainly going to be restaurants and retail.
Yeah,
So retail and business,
well, I don't even think business, I think retail.
Retail,
and
restaurant,
Restaurants, and then if.
Strike
because
business.
It's business,
I mean, if
This is
they're-
office
such a
space, not
large-
business, office
Yes,
space.
yeah, that's better.
Yeah, office space
Yeah.
is, yeah, so just retail and it's my proposal,
I would agree with
restaurants.
that, yeah.
show windows for retail?
Mhm.
No, that's not the language.
yeah, I assume, tell me if I'm wrong, don't we want to go down the road of using use classifications?
Yes. Yes, mercantile.
So
Okay,
we
mercantile,
probably
yeah.
need to be consistent with the use classification.
Right, mercantile, yeah.
Okay,
So mercantile and business,
No.
Mercantile and what's restaurants.
That's includes
That's
a restaurants are assembly,
simple.
or they can be business.
you'd have to define it, so what, A2?
well.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting that's a start,
Mhm.
Yeah,
but we don't have to do that verbatim. In
we
my
don't want to leave it open blank like.
Right, so I think However, however the board can get there, I think that's. the next
I'll
step.
work on that one.
Okay,
Oh, do we want to limit it to the first floor? I rarely see a second floor show
Right,
window.
there's no
I
reason
think
to,
so.
yeah.
Okay, so we want to limit it to first floor?
I would suggest limit it to first floor
Okay,
and then do the appropriate classifications
okay.
where most everything is included under that umbrella, right?
Yep.
So we see show windows in restaurants, mercantile, and we see them in business.
But
Not for
not
display.
very often, and usually those are on the side of the building.
You're right, you're right.
You know, those are
Such and
put in
such
the,
insurance company.
yeah.
You might have a conference room, but again, you're not gonna have some beer sign hanging in your conference room.
You might,
You
but-
might.
If you're a good employer, you
Okay, all right, I'll work on that. I'll come up with
Okay,
something.
AJ's got that. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
The next one is the energy code, which I think this is carried forward, because I didn't do this, so I don't know where, I think this has to be carried forward.
I don't know that was carried forward. That's different.
Well, I don't know who proposes, but this would be an engineering thing, in my opinion, like.
I always would follow the energy code before I'd follow the NEC, I mean,
Yeah.
because the plan reviewers are gonna look at the energy code first when it comes to watts per square foot and all that, so I was really surprised to see.
Matt, can you go back up and see what the comment is on
I don't know
this?
the,
This is JJ's proposal.
It's not. Oh, man, he's trying to get me in trouble.
I see a recurring thing here on the back end.
No, that never was. I got my original
Very
notes.
timid.
Say that. Well, my thoughts on this is that, yes, we follow the energy code.
Yeah.
For commercial lighting, so your main energy are, heating and cooling and lighting are the ones we want to be concerned about, and motor loads for industrial.
and I was saying, I was okay with this, he's kind of saying the same thing, but I don't know why you have it in there when you are gonna use energy code anyway, I mean.
Yeah. But the way this is written, it strikes the energy code provision and goes directly to the electrical code, and that wasn't the intent of the previous board.
Right.
That was to go to. So, now there is something different in this one, and that's that I would like to strike out, and that was to be the monitoring. I monitor my business by how much Evergy charges me at the end of the month, but, I don't, that's a big cost. My understanding, those are very expensive to put in for businesses. And if businesses want to put them in, they certainly can. I mean, that could be a may instead of a shall. But I know, we talked about this, didn't we, a little bit? Now, what do you feel about it? Because you were specifically dealing with the client on the monitoring system. Neil,
That was thermostats.
that was thermostats.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were monitoring, yeah.
Power monitoring
Thermostat.
for lighting and receptacles, like Chipotle does it, Bass Pro does not. Some corporations will do it, but it is very expensive, and usually they'll tie it together with a specific system and the HVAC, it'll all communicate.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking, on a restaurant, it can be $10,000. I mean,
And-
I don't think it's needed.
I don't either, and Laura, don't businesses like that have maintenance supervisors and that stuff like that monitor those systems, and they can have
Yep.
somebody they can call on?
They can, but I'm thinking about, the Rudy's Pizza over here, that now we're gonna make them buy a monitoring system for their little restaurant. I mean, it's gonna cost them $10,000. I mean, I just think it's ridiculous because it is what it is. I mean, they're not gonna say, hey, we gotta turn off that oven, we're using too much power here. So,
Maybe after
No.
spending 10 grand, they will.
right? I think it's more for big corporations to see where they're using their power and how they can be more energy efficient on.
Yeah, well, when we get into the energy code, they have limitations on the size of buildings.
That was
Like the-
50,000.
Yeah, 50,000, 10,000 and 50,000, something kind of comes into play. It's what trips my mind.
So I don't think you take energy code out of this, but you do take the power monitoring stuff out of it.
Maybe 1 and 2 then, right?
So
One and
do
two
we
are
know
out.
we don't know who's the author of this. JJ is in denial.
I got my sheet.
Even if
I'll
we
show
wanted
it
to do
you.
something with
I'll show it to
monitoring,
you.
It wouldn't go in here.
No,
So
no.
Laura, is it simply striking one for
One and
you?
two.
One and two.
One and two?
And I think demand factors are not applied to the general lighting. That's all handled in the energy code.
Yeah.
Just load multiplier shall be applied. That's
There's
handled when you
lighting
size your
load.
electrical service.
So are we striking everything here?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and, well, yeah, you don't want,
If we strike 1, 2, 3, and 4, that's
Then
everything.
how does this language now read what the building design?
well, why are we striking the energy code?
That's what my thought, of why are
Yeah,
we
that should
striking
just all be
energy?
deleted.
Delete it as in not strike it.
Right, I'm sorry.
Don't strike any of it. No, we want to strike,
The power month.
well, Laura said 2 is,
Okay, okay, so what are we saying here? The units are based on the minimum. Wait, energy
This
code, what did we?
this in the code or something?
It says that
Somebody
the
added.
lighting load shall be permitted.
Right, it's here.
To be calculated using unit values specified in the energy code
And we want
only
that.
if the following conditions are met.
Okay,
So you don't have to use, you could, I read that as
This is a may instead of a
it's a
shall.
may instead of a shall.
Okay,
So the way I read that, we're not requiring Rudy's to have a power monitoring system. But if they want to use those load calculations
in the energy code,
in the energy code to size their,
and they have to use it.
you know, well, yeah, I guess.
so we just leave it
Very
as it is in the code.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really confusing.
Okay,
So did someone add this
Worded
wording or
funny.
is this in the code?
well, we can,
He's got a code.
what code section is it? It's referencing a table.
20.
Can you scroll up?
20.42.
That's a table?
Sorry, let me get up.
But is it that 22042? Is that B? That's A right there is the
It is
B.
B.
It is B.
But this would just be for calculating your service amount.
That's all, yeah, that's how I read it.
This is just for calculating the size of your service.
Mhm.
Lighting, this is under lighting load for non-dwelling occupancies. Where the building is equipped and designed
I feel like it's,
to comply with the energy code. Is that how that was written?
I think what it's saying, in lieu of using the standard NEC calculation, you're allowed to use the energy.
Yeah.
Only if you install a power monitoring system. So if you
Yes.
don't want to
That's
install
how
a
I
power
read it.
monitoring system, then you need to use the NEC
Then use it,
values.
yeah.
Don't use the energy code.
And don't use the energy. code.
No, you want to use the energy code.
To size your service, or I'm saying to size your service.
The lighting load shall be permitted.
This
to
is
be
just in
calculated.
reference to sizing.
This
say,
is the important
between a
sentence.
1,000 amp service and a 1,200 amp service.
Yeah, but I mean, the energy code is gonna say you've got 1 watt per square foot. What is this? And this is gonna tell you, you can have 1.3 watts per square foot.
Right. So I guess it's saying in order to use that 1 per square foot, then you're gonna have to have the power monitor system.
Right, and I don't,
You don't think that that is, which I think is ridiculous too, but yeah.
right.
so we just strike 2? Or we don't want to, we don't
One or
want to.
two.
Which effectively
One
says
and
you have to
two.
use NEC,
Yeah,
not energy code.
Okay, what we want to do, and we don't know how to do it yet, is we
Right.
want to allow the energy code to be used and not require power monitoring, correct?
yeah. I think the easiest way is to just strike 1 and 2.
So I think we need to read,
But you
let me
can
read
word that
this
sentence.
and really kind of,
Okay.
if we're in agreement
not-
on what we want to do.
Yeah, I think so. We're not there yet.
Figure out the right
Wording.
wording.
So the end game is allow them to use energy code without these conditional things.
Right.
Right, and then if the energy code is more stringent, I mean, we don't want to say, you know, if the electrical code has 1.3 and energy code has 1, we want to go with 1, however we want to write that, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this table should just be X and you should be following energy code because
think
that's
so.
what every inspector, every engineer is gonna follow.
Yeah, that's what we did, that's what we've been doing.
So I think that's why it is X then. So,
So I'll work on this and kind of we'll pass it around. I think we know, we're in agreement on what we want to accomplish,
Yeah,
just how to
It
accomplish it.
sounds like that's why it's being
That's why it was crossed.
deleted.
Completely.
The language is whack.
Unfortunately, we don't know who did it.
I did not.
It might be Justin, and he's been silent.
There's one person not in the room.
Yeah.
Just highlighting things blue.
Why couldn't it just refer to the energy code specifically on that section?
Yeah.
Because if you strike that whole section, it's saying you have to use this table, which is less.
Well, that's just the NEC method. If we're saying that the energy code is, I mean,
Is more stringent though.
you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
But if the city says to use allows you to use the energy code and we strike this, it doesn't require to use the NEC is the way I would.
Right, but then if I could come back and say, okay, but energy said 1 watt a square foot, this says 1.3 watt a square foot, so I can
Okay,
get more.
yeah,
And then you're gonna look at it and be like, the energy code says 1.
Right.
So, and then I'm gonna say, well, but this is allowed here.
okay.
So we
Yeah,
just
we
need to
wanna know
figure
what
out.
energy
Language,
code.
we need the right language.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Just be respectful of everyone's time. We have about 12 minutes as we continue on with this.
Pretty close.
We're getting close.
I think we made good progress.
No, I think-
Surge protectors. I think that's the last one, is it surge
Pretty
protectors
close. Disconnect.
and disconnect?
Yeah.
And then a fire department one.
Okay,
So Laura, you had a comment on surge protectors about damaging AFCIs and GFCIs, is that right? Without having surge protectors or with them having surge?
Surge protectors are expensive, but GFCI and AFCI can be damaged by surges leaving the system unprotected. I think more discussion, especially in
that's
commercial
right.
housing side like dorms and nursing homes.
There it is.
I didn't say that, did I?
Now this,
I'm reading my commentary. And I have mixed feeling on surge protectors. I think there are some applications in nursing homes and dorms that might be applicable. Do I think they need to be, if the commercial facility wants to provide it, I think they should be able to provide it. If there is a surge, the only problem is AFCIs and GFCIs, you might not know right away if they're not working. But you will at some point.
Yeah. If I could have, is Chief King still online?
Yes.
Hey, Chief, what do you know about surge protectors and how they relate to fire and damage and that sort of thing? I thought they protected equipment and prevented fires.
Yeah, so they're more, for the, can be a surge in the grid system, but as well as a surge from lightning, those kinds of things. And so we see them typically more, people buy the power strips that they think they're buying a power strip with a breaker in them, and they're buying surge protectors. This is integrated into the overall design of the building, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so while the concept is similar and the same, the key is there is it's protecting the appliances, the things inside, so they one, I guess, don't have a problem. Whether that's through lightning or just grid surges, and so
Well, there's not a surge, I mean, there is not any surge arrestor that will tell you it will protect against lightning.
Right.
So they only are designed to protect equipment.
Okay, so it's only equipment, okay.
Chris,
So
do you feel like this is a life safety issue or an equipment issue?
my understanding it's an equipment issue, but so you're saying that this equipment doesn't protect against lightning?
No.
What is do you guys have I don't have access to the new code and or any commentary. Does the commentary provide additional information on this, or?
I don't have the commentary, but.
Well, we have the notes in here.
Yeah.
The commentaries in here.
You know, this is one of those items of we're making it less stringent. Big office buildings, we always put SPDs on.
You always do?
Yeah, medical office buildings, we would, you know, anything with expensive equipment, we
It's
put
gonna
it
have
on.
it, yeah, they're gonna have it.
Yeah, but this is not a life safety issue, and so I don't have a strong opinion on if you want to delete it or not. You know, the engineering on these type of facilities. Cover that.
Yeah.
Is it new to the code this year?
sometime.
Yes.
Yes. Dwelling units is probably one that my house was hit by lightning. I lost everything in my house. That's why you have insurance.
So this surge protection was added this year?
Yes.
Here's the-
Broader, it's broad. Yeah, I think it was added completely. And so dwelling units, it's a pretty pricey expense for dwelling units, isn't it?
And, well, and I don't know
We've
what
got
it
to take
costs us.
lightning out of this equation.
Yeah.
Because they
I
don't
have
work,
been on a
right.
house with that had two surge arresters,
Yeah.
one outside, one inside, and they were hit by lightning. It not only blew out those surge arresters, but it blew everything in their entire house.
I'm in 100% agreement. I've not seen
Lightning
them
is
work
an
yet for that.
unstoppable force. So the only thing these surge arresters do is help protect equipment, and we're talking circuit boards. Because all the literature that you read is mainly to protect the small electronics.
Can you scroll down just a little bit more?
Absolutely, sorry.
It's to protect your dishwasher circuit board, it's to protect your furnace circuit board.
And once it's blown, it's blown. I mean, right?
Yeah.
You have to
yeah,
replace it
yeah,
anyway.
it's-
So
Yeah,
we can find them on dwelling units, but if it does get blown by a surge, you're
yeah.
gonna have to replace it. And who's gonna replace it?
So the language is dwelling units, dormitory, it looks like it's residential.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're just saying that we're not gonna require it because it is an expense to the customer and I don't believe it's a life-saving thing. Not discouraging people to put them in.
Right.
We're just
Not requiring.
not requiring.
I
it.
think everyone agrees it's an equipment issue, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, it makes sense, in my opinion, to strike it out and what we're saying here, the entire section.
Yes, I agree.
And it's because it's an NEC that we're talking residential dwelling, not 1 and 2 family dwellings.
Right,
Right.
So it's gonna be a cost for apartments and stuff, but not 1 and 2 family.
right.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I haven't looked at the IRC about this, surely, I don't know.
So is everyone good with this?
Yes.
Okay, here's where we're at. I make the proposal that we stop where we're at. We made, I think, great progress today. We still have the public comment section to go, and then we will adjourn after that. If that's my recommendation to the board.
And Chris, a lot of the stuff that's coming up on the last
Yes,
part of
yeah,
this is you on fire. So that's the meeting in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So if you have any suggestions on the rest of the stuff, the next 3 weeks would be a good time to do it.
Okay, can I make a recommendation to the board for the
Yes.
next 3 weeks? Or whenever we're meeting? When do you meet again? Sorry,
3 weeks from today,
3 weeks from today, okay.
same time. I'll send it to you, Chris.
Yeah, my recommendation would be, and it would be helpful for, if somebody could send it to me as well. In regards to, section 230.85. If we can get the commentary, for the reason, that it was being added to the code. Emergency disconnects.
Emergency.
Oh, emergency disconnects, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know you would want to chime in on that one.
Yeah. We find that very useful, and would like to see their specific reasoning. I assume I know what it is, but my quick Google search confirmed my assumption, but I just want to see what the code says, what they're saying it is. But as I said, we want to see an opportunity to get this in the code versus stricken from the code, so. More conversation later, I guess.
See,
let me ask the board a question before we proceed. We're trying to get some of these low-hanging fruit ordinances off our plate, but we haven't succeeded just because no error here on anyone's part. Because the electrical code's taken up some time, which we want to vet everything appropriately. Next meeting, do you think we should try to do these 3 ordinances that were on the agenda today? They're very simple ordinances. I can present very quickly, 5 minutes each one, probably have it done in 15 minutes, and we knock them off and get them off our plate. Does that sound reasonable?
Which ones were those?
It's Article 13, dangerous structures. I made minor edits, amendments to that. language cleanup, demolition of structures, very minor in the Building Code Board of Appeals, basically what our bylaws are based off of, very minor stuff.
All administrative.
All administrative. If we want to do that, I would just encourage everyone to do their homework between now and 3 weeks. So when I present, work succinct and we move through those very quickly. I think we can get those off our plate very quickly. That's my plan. So is everyone okay with trying to get, we've had them on the agenda 2 times, but I think next agenda is the one we can get them on there. Does that, everyone agree with that? Okay, so we will carry on with the NEC next 3 weeks and then we'll knock those 3 ordinances out. Okay,
Yeah, we should finish with the NEC half of the meeting, the next meeting, that should be, I don't even think it's gonna take
okay,
that long.
all right,
Couple
awesome.
items.
So I would then open it up for public comment.
Okay. And so we have some public here. Do we have any public comment? And would you introduce yourself?
My name is Eric Hyde, 66046, live in a house. And there's something that's come to my attention over the years. And this does apply to buildings. It's like you guys are all in the business of building and construction, sort of that stuff related to that nature. There's a lot of people around here who don't think they need to trim their right-of-way obstructions on their own properties. For instance, I'll give you an example right now, US Bank, they have a bunch of trees hanging over their sidewalk. I mentioned it to them, hey, you guys trim your trees. Okay. Anyway, so I have this ordinance here I found, which was signed into effect in 2019 by Lisa Larson, the clerk, and the city attorney. Talks about a person in this ordinance. It's any natural person, business association, business entity, including but not limited to a corporation, a partnership, a limited liability company, a sole part political subdivision of the state or other governmental entity, a public or private agency, utility, such and such. And then public rights of way is basically something that the city has a right of way interest in. I just wanted to get out the information about this first, because this is very applicable.
Oh, are you talking about trees that are blocking the sidewalk?
Yeah, hold on, just let me finish this comment. All right, and then it goes down here to unlawful acts. It's unlawful to intentionally, it shall be unlawful for any person, I just read you the persons, to violate any condition imposed upon the, the wrong one. It shall be unlawful unless otherwise permitted or exempted hereunder for any person intentionally to obstruct traffic in a public right of way. Okay, and this is a serious issue that's being ignored a lot in this town, which is a public nuisance and can be brought to the court, which I will do if I have to do it. So we just need to get on top of it. It says here, the municipal offense, engaging in any unlawful act set forth in the ordinance, chapter, section, whatever. If you're guilt or entry of a plea of no contest, you're subject to a fine of $1,000 and a maximum fine of $2,500 for each municipal offense. For another example, the proxy apartments behind Natural Grocers, they're obstructing their right-of-way path right there, and they don't think they need to take care of it. It's a big thing. It affects a lot of people living, especially multi-businesses. Even businesses do it around here. I think it applies. I know it's loosely applied somehow. It does say the person section that it applies to you guys. And that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Who would the city do people usually contact?
Yeah, that obviously wouldn't be this board's authority or ours. Occasionally code compliance gets involved on those obstructions, depending on where they originate from private property versus public rights of way. If it's a public right of way obstruction, that's where it occurs. The Park and Rec may get involved, or MSO, Municipal Services Operations. If the obstruction originates from the private side and it may be trees or something, then we'll work sometimes with Park and Recs to address that.
You're talking about code enforcement, your code.
Yeah,
enforcement.
our code compliance.
Okay.
So appreciate Eric bringing it to our attention, but yeah, that falls outside the scope of this board.
So what would be
I
Eric?
disagree.
Where is he to go though?
He can come to us and tell us where his,
So is there a reporting line?
I
Like a
get
pothole
ignored a lot of
reporting line?
times.
Eric, I'm just saying that's, if you want to start with us, we'll,
I already have.
okay. I'm not-
Something
You ignore me. You don't
I-
care.
Something I would suggest is maybe contact a newspaper
The
and
newspaper sucks. They hate my guts. It made me look like a bad man when I ran for city commission.
So if we have a pothole reporting line with the city,
Yes,
is there a right-of-way reporting?
I don't know.
Yes, it's on the Click It Fix It app, but it's largely
Click
ignored by
Fix.
Parks and Rec or code enforcement.
Eric, you and I have had conversations on.
Yeah, we've had conversations.
On more than
And I
one.
reported your department for court violation because you don't have any records for all the yard sign instructions, sir. So I'm gonna leave now. Goodbye.
Thanks,
You're
Eric.
welcome.
Appreciate it. Okay, any other public in this room, then we'll have to check online.
Okay.
Yeah, Lori, Lawrence Home Builders Association, we've already provided comment in writing, but we would continue to advocate for the AFCI amendment to be kept the same that it is right now and not to be expanded to include other living areas due to cost.
Okay,
Do you have that?
is that it?
I do, yeah.
You sure that's it?
Is that your comment?
Well, she got her,
Along those lines.
we agreed with the side mounted outlets on the kitchen island, which was the other main
Yes.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
So really, it's just the
Right,
AFCI.
that's the only thing that was discussed today that
Along the lines of the AFCIs, could you, electrical guys, could you give us some sort of a dollar amount of what it might cost for a, say, a 2,300 square foot, 3-bedroom house? On average.
Versus
a real,
what it is now versus what we're proposing. to do.
yeah. How
So
much-
current code versus
Yeah.
what we
I mean,
might,
how much does it cost for a breaker? Going from a regular breaker to a AFCI, $70?
Yeah.
$70
installed.
install,
Oh, no.
$100?
I mean, yeah, there's no.
Difference on
additional-
install.
No difference.
No
on
difference in
install. Zero.
Okay,
difference
so
on
it's-
install.
$70. Well, I figured on my house, it would be 8 breakers.
And that's the upcharge to the standard.
560.
Yeah, but we're talking about circuits, so all those areas, you might have 2 or 3 of those areas mentioned
Right.
on one circuit.
So
Well,
it
and
may
it's,
not-
yeah, circuits.
Your number
it's
may
per
not
breaker,
equal.
so.
You may not
Yeah.
need 8
It
breakers
may
or
not,
whatever.
yeah, it may not be.
Neil lives in a
one.
castle, so.
Right, yeah.
I
Living
mean,
room's pretty big, house too.
so we know where we landed. We know LHBA's position. That's, Matt and I, our job is just to let you guys guide yourselves
Right.
in that regard. If you guys want to do the cost analysis of current code versus what we're currently proposing, then I encourage you to do that and bring it back in 3 weeks if possible, and have some further discussion on it. But you guys are the driving force on making those recommendations. We guide you and give us our opinions occasionally, but it's really about you guys making the ultimate decision.
I would like to ask Bobby, you're part of the homeowners association. Do they have statistics on costs? I'm sure they've come up with that about, and then but locally, we want to keep it, you're proposing to keep it as it is now, as opposed to.
Mhm. Well, we'd like to keep it as it is because there's not been any data that we are aware of that says that it's been a problem.
Yep.
And so I think it would, any information I have on costs just comes from local. I don't have national numbers on the cost. It would be from local electricians.
Have you been told some numbers that you'd be willing to share?
I'll have to look it up. I have heard some, but I don't have it on the top of my head.
Okay, if you could do that, and then we can do it on this side too, and maybe come up with a little more reasoning on why they're doing this. I think it'll be educational for all of us.
Yeah, I can take a house similar to what Neil has suggested.
That'd be great.
I mean,
Appreciate it.
there was some good information from the National Association of Home Builders, but they're representing their interests, and I understand that. There, and there's Adrian quickly points out, there's two sides from the home builders to the life safety issue. So I respect both. But yeah, that's, you guys are going down the right path if you want to dive a little bit deeper in it, in my opinion.
Well, Brian, I would add that home builders care about life safety too.
Oh, 100%.
It's on record, he doesn't care now.
No. I was just going, Adrian's always falling back on the life safety. It's,
30 years.
yeah,
But
no, I
I think-
applied anything different.
I think that would be very interesting. Not only, we can almost drill it down to what our proposal is versus the old versus the new, because we didn't adopt everything all the way over. We kind of cut some areas out.
Well, I assume you'd probably have to figure out what the average number of circuits are on the certain square footage of house versus what we have in place today, and kind of give us a ballpark estimate, knowing that every house is going to be a little bit different, right?
To have some kind of a basic.
You think that's a perfect person,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to.
But if you just start with the average size house built
Right.
in Lawrence, which would be like
'Cause you know how many
2,300 square
circuits
feet, yeah. I think we're talking 7 or 8 circuits, probably,
I would say there's way more than that. personally.
more than that.
If you're following it with zero amendments, like you just
No,
look at
with our
with our amendments.
Yeah.
Just our amendment,
With ours.
just our amendment. We're not interested.
Just our amendments, okay, yeah, because then you're lessening it, especially in the kitchen if we do modify to that, so, yeah, I could probably come up with some data for that.
What it costs currently, how it's amended right now versus what we are looking at proposing for
Yeah,
adoption.
I think that I would agree that you're probably looking, if you got a 3-bedroom right now, I'm just talking out loud, you're gonna have say it's $100 a breaker just for
Simple math.
you see.
Yeah.
You're looking at $300 to do it with your bedrooms. Most houses are gonna have, and this depends on how you wire the house though, because like, I see people put so many outlets and lights on one circuit and they have about half the breakers that I put in a service. So it really depends on how economically you're trying to wire this, which I don't necessarily, I always put more breakers than other people do, because I'm typically wiring a higher end home, but any rate.
Are we a little bit ahead of
You're
that?
adding at least a living room, a rec room. Now we're talking 2 for the kitchen, and I'm just talking out loud so I can count them.
Yep.
And then let's be on the safe side, say you're gonna have at least 3 more than that, because you're gonna have a lighting circuit somewhere upstairs, downstairs, and you're gonna have a rec room.
Why
I mean,
are the
I'd say
lighting
you're gonna
circuits
have,
on there?
I wouldn't be surprised, what's that?
Why are the lighting circuits on there?
Well, it's an outlet, so
I know, why won't we change that to receptacle instead of outlet?
I'm fine with that, 100%. Yeah, taking lighting out of the equation.
There's no reason.
But
for lighting.
usually you're putting the lighting on the same circuit anyway.
Yes, you are.
Well, if it has outlets on it, then it would be
You wouldn't
required.
have to.
But when I wire a house, we wire it like a commercial,
Separate.
and we
Yeah.
only put the outlets, except for bedrooms,
You got a fan, yeah.
Yeah.
we put the fan and lights on it, but we automatically put that on our default, right? So if you've got a living room, because we wire our houses more commercially, but some people may not. So if it was just a straight lighting circuit, then yeah, I would feel like we could take that out
Yeah.
right away, personally. So that would help the cost and it would also help people wire it, maybe give the incentive for people to wire it.
There you
How
go.
it should be.
How it
in my
should be
opinion,
wired, in
yeah.
my opinion, because
Then you could almost do a budget because the lighting is,
yeah. But at any rate, I'm gonna say you're adding 10 above it on an average home with our amendments.
So 1,000 up.
Yeah, around 1,000, ballpark 1,000.
Yeah, but right now, remember, I have to stress that we're talking about apartments, not single family homes at
Well,
this
not
point.
yet.
Well, but NEC follows for single family dwellings also.
Well, we still have the IRC is what.
The
Adrian
IRC,
said.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We still haven't done the IRC yet.
Yeah, the IRC is gonna regulate single, 1 and 2 family dwellings, so. And triplexes, I think, yeah.
But
1 and 2.
a lot of that shouldn't veer off too much from each other, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, but we are addressing the dwelling IFI rules different than the commercial AF rules. So I would say we are addressing the dwelling,
Well,
we want the IRC to line with the
Because
NEC
NEC says
dwelling units.
dwelling units, which
Yeah.
is single family dwellings.
Right.
No, it's not, it's. 1
I just looked it up. 1 to 2 family dwellings, I think.
Okay.
Well, we can look through, I know, you've done it, I had to look it up, so. Because I was surprised it wouldn't, then you see, wouldn't cover it. And I don't do,
I defer to you two.
a dwelling unit is a single unit providing complete and independent living facilities for one or more persons, including permanent provisions for living, sleeping, cooking, and sanitation.
Yeah,
So that's a definition of a dwelling unit,
not a detached.
not a
One is-
detached.
The definition of one and two family, an RC covers detached one and two family dwelling units. That's the difference.
So that code is.
Dwelling unit, one family, building that consists solely of one dwelling unit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're just basically defining what one dwelling unit is.
Yeah. The RC is one and two family detached dwelling units.
And why couldn't there be a different requirement?
And townhouses.
Single,
Townhomes.
yeah, single family.
So as
There could be.
as we,
That's what I'm saying, why
as we
couldn't
move
there-
past the regular meeting time, are these some of the issues and homework we need to do for
Yes.
the 3 weeks when we're talking about? Is it this, is it this, is it here or here?
So I heard
And what's the
Bobby might
definition?
bring some more information back. We're gonna look at a cost analysis of the current code, the way it's written versus what we're currently proposing. And what, was there a third?
I was gonna rewrite some of the wording for one of the amendments, and I have it
Right,
written
and
down
then
here.
there's some other amendments.
And I was gonna do what, I can't remember which one I was gonna do now.
JJ was.
I have it written.
Okay.
I'll try to send,
Matt will send those individual responsibilities out to each board member that
Yeah.
volunteered or got selected. So
honored to be
Sir,
selected.
I ask
Do
for
we have any
public comment
comment online?
online, and then after that, you can make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have any public comment online? Anybody online?
Are there any chats?
It's
that-
just all city staff, so I would say that's a no.
Any chat?
Any comment?
Nobody
Chat?
cares.
Check.
Unplug. Reboot. Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, here's Janet's. Janet, I'll get these chats into our notes.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
if you see in the chat, I actually talked about similar areas and you were talking about striking that. I think for plan review purposes, there are a lot of some similar areas that I see on floor plans. And I pointed some out: great room, hearth room, foosball room, golf room, wine room. I could go on for ages. There's very creative names for rooms that are put on plans. And so I'd rather not see similar rooms being struck from those two sections of the NEC.
Okay.
Sorry, we didn't look at chat until now.
That's okay.
I've got a foosball room.
So there's no other, that was actually.
Nobody else is on.
No one else is on, so we can close public comment.
Okay. Public comment closed. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, but you make that, real quick before we make a motion to adjourn, remember also, next time is we're going to hit dangerous structures, demolition, building code board of appeals. In addition to the NEC homework that we have.
Please just send that out again,
Yeah.
just so we have it at the top of our
Yeah.
inbox.
That will be the third time, but we'll do it.
I have them here, they're ready.
And then, man, I can't remember, we don't have to discuss this at the meeting, but Matt, so we're gonna go with those quick ones that Brian, after we finish the NEC, we're gonna go with those quick ones with Brian and I know fire has some details, and that's gonna be, the fire code is gonna take a little bit, right?
So we're gonna go with the 3 quick ones at the beginning of the meeting. And then specifically to where we left off, where Chris may have more comments
Chris
on the
will,
fire.
yep.
And then, so if you want to look over what he's going to be commenting on, that'll be the meat of the next meeting.
Yeah, I think we
But
start
not
the
the
easy
fire
ones
code,
to build.
not electrical.
We start the easy ones to build some good momentum.
Yeah. We didn't. I just wanted to know where the plumbing code and mechanical code, because I think those are gonna be easy, because there's
Yeah.
not.
So here's our plan, not going against what Matt's sent out. That, in my opinion, the next low hanging fruits are fuel, gas, mechanical, and plumbing.
Right.
And so we'll knock those 3 out, these 3, and we'll start building additional momentum.
Contractor licensing, trade licensing.
Yeah, contractor licensing, trade licensing as well.
Mhm.
There's
So-
a few things before that.
So, yeah, So-
Do you have anything on the plumbing code that you?
Probably what we'll do, Adrian, is we'll bring these three next time, then we'll bring the
We can pull up plumbing. fuel, gas,
contractor and trade licensing.
Yeah.
Those two should be pretty straightforward. We made some minor changes to those.
Mhm.
So we'll put those on the agenda, like not next time, but the time after that, and we'll have those five knocked out. Then maybe the next meeting, we'll do fuel gas. Matt, is this
Plumbing.
making sense?
And
Yeah.
mechanical, those
Fuel
three should
gas,
be done.
fuel gas.
yeah, fuel gas, plumbing and mechanical.
Okay.
That will be, if my math's right, 8,
One,
not
two,
counting the
three, four,
NAC,
five,
then we
six,
can get
seven,
into the
eight.
bigger potatoes,
Yes.
IRC, IECC, IBC, and go from there.
Can I just move to burn the IECC?
Well,
Yes.
the quick answer is yes. We've had some very
Will we? I don't think
debated
so.
conversations internally with staff about how we proceed with that. That takes more time than 10 minutes, so we're already past due. We'll talk about that next meeting or the meeting after. Okay, great work, by the way, today. I think we made some good progress.
I agree.
You electrical guys are sharp. Awesome, awesome,
And
awesome.
where my electrical girls too might help me think a little bit.
Especially girls.
Oh, my. Amen to that.
I was offended for, oh yeah, I don't have feelings. Sorry.
All right,
All right, I move we adjourn.
I
okay,
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
awesome. All right, we'll see you guys.
I didn't know they had a chat following us.